Hi, I'm Jagriti here at Little Dreams. So I'm just here to give you a few tips about when you're thinking about moving your little one from their cot into a big bed. So this is a big deal, and it can be a big deal and a big event for everyone in the family. So usually before making this decision, parents tend to have two questions. First of all is when to do it, and secondly, how. So I would recommend as my first tip, when would be to try and delay it as much as you can. Wait until they are at least 2.5 to 3.5 years old. There is no need to rush them out of their cot into the big bed. As well as this, I would also say not to delay moving your little one into a big bed if they do not have good sleeping skills, as naturally there is going to be a period of adjustment as they learn to fall asleep by themselves, and this again can take some time. So there's absolutely, like I said, no need to rush taking your toddler out of their cot. And also, the transition to a big bed will be much easier if your little one is already sleeping through the night. And as a toddler who is well rested and able to fall asleep independently, they are far less likely to leave their room and their bed at nighttime. So that's what I would say for around when. How to do it. So let's say how to do it. So my second tip would be to prepare your little one so they know exactly what is happening. Explain to them when you'll be making the move, set a date, tell them what's going to happen. You might even want to read a book around moving into a big bed as well. But I would say do not try and do this around the time arrival of a new sibling. So definitely try and plan ahead if that's the case. Secondly, you don't want to, it is a big deal that they're going to be moving into a big bed. So you want to make a big deal out of it. However, on the flip side, you don't want to make a massive production out of it either, because these sort of big things can put a lot of pressure on little ones, and actually they can sort of backfire on you. So again, just be really cautious around how much excitement, etc., you're putting into it. Next, I would say try and take your little one shopping if you can. So maybe shop for their bed if possible, or let them at least choose their bedding, choose the color of their sheets, for example. All these little things will help ease that transition as they will start to feel like they have some kind of sense of ownership on it as well. So that's sort of like one of the ways that you can do it. My third tip would be to kind of make minimal changes. So for example, put the new bed exactly where the cot was, make sure their bedtime routine is exactly the same as it has always been. Don't change anything, don't change their bedtime, and also try and keep their dinners to foods that they're used to having. Don't try introducing something new for meals either, just during this sort of transitional stage. So once you've made the move, there are 3 ways your toddler is likely to react in their new bed. Firstly, if you're really, really lucky and they will adapt to the new bed with no issues straight away, which would be amazing. However, the other 2 reactions are a bit more common. So number 2, they may appear to adapt straight away, but after a week or 2, they may start leaving their room, they may start playing with their toys, and they may start calling out for you. And number 3, they may do all of those things, but this time around, instead of waiting after a week or 2, they may start doing that on the very first night. So the solution to both of those situations are exactly the same. So when your toddler demonstrates any of these sort of unwanted behaviors, you want to tell them what the consequence will be if they do continue to do so. And whatever it is that your consequence is, make sure when they do, for example, start playing with their toys or start getting out of bed, make sure you follow through on that consequence. If you haven't discovered an effective consequence yet, then you could try removing one of their favorite sleepy toys, for example, for about a minute or 2 minutes, etc. But remember, if you're going to do that, it has to be a toy or a sleepy toy or something that's going to bother your little one. There's no point taking away a toy they haven't played with in the last 2 months. So like I said, making a big change like this, it's not easy. However, it can be straightforward. Follow some of the tips that we've given already and manage your expectations. And remember, keep everything else the same. And lastly, always follow through with any consequences that you tell them that you're going to have for any unwanted behavior. Good luck. But again, as always, if you are having trouble moving your little one or would like to discuss any sleep related issues, call us for a free 15-minute phone call to see if we can help.